So, Southend-on-Sea. Been people asking about what this is. This is windfoiling. So it's like windsurfing, but what we've got under the board is we've got this foil. So it's a front wing, a mast, fuselage and a rear wing as a stabiliser. And the idea is we use the windsurfer to build speed to try and get water flow across this, and when we get enough flow, just like an aircraft wing, it will lift. And the idea is I lift out of the water, and all that's in the water is the foil, none of the board, which is causing drag, and we can then go a lot faster in a lot less wind. It also goes nice and silent, and we can actually get going in a little bit less wind than we can with a normal windsurfer. So let's see if we can take you on a bit of a ride. So it's good 25-26 degrees out here. Water is absolutely gorgeous. I'm off the Thorpe Bay. You can see it's just over waist deep, and I'm going to have about another 10 minutes before the tide gets too shallow. So basically I'm now basically like on a windsurfer. So what I'm going to try and do is accelerate the board to try to get flow of water across the wing that's underneath my feet. Once I get to a certain speed, I'll feel that wing start to lift, and then I'm able to then control the board to get the whole thing to lift out of the water. So I'm going to flap the sail a bit like a bird flaps its wings. I'm going to use it to try and build my speed, and once I get a little bit of enough speed and I feel that foil start to work, which it is now, and I'm happy, I can now bring my weight to the correct position and the foil will lift. And now you can see and hear that I'm not actually on the water. It's nice and quiet, a little bit of wind noise, but you'll see now, looking down, the board is not touching the water. If I was windsurfing, you'd have that noise, but even louder actually. But as soon as you lift, the sound goes away. And now, although it's like I'm windsurfing, I'm actually trying to control that foil that's underneath me, and I do it with weight shift. So the easiest one is my heels. If I put my weight on my heels, the board will turn upwind. If I put my weight on my toes, the board will turn downwind, and then I balance. So I'm trying to keep my feet equally balanced on heels and toes. If I lean my shoulders forward, that will actually put my weight onto my front foot and the board will come down. If I bring my weight back, the board will come up. Obviously if it keeps coming up, it's going to come up so much the foil comes out of the water and I crash. So it's a constant balancing point, forward and back and side to side. And with the sail, if I bring the sail power in, if I bring in with my back hand, it puts a lot of pressure down the mast, which actually pushes the nose down. So what I have to do is concentrate with my back foot to try and counteract that. So it's lots of balancing, but it's not a huge amount of pressure on your arms either. So I'm going to go around the corner now. There really isn't a lot of wind out here. So we're looking upwind, and we see those darker patches on the water. That's where the wind is. So once I feel that into the sail, there you go, there's a little bit of power in the sail now. And what I'm going to do is point the board downwind a bit and start to flap that sail like a bird sort of flaps its wings, build a bit of speed, move myself down the board, get that balance point, and there you can see I'm back on the foil. All goes quiet. What a lovely feeling. can wear a harness. And what that does just means you can unload one of your hands, or both hands if you want to. Swap hands, just takes a little bit of power off your arms. With foiling, it's not as heavy duty on your arms as windsurfing, so it's much better for having longer sessions, and also, you know, people that aren't as strong and people that are a bit older are finding foiling's a lot easier to do than windsurfing. Some of the guys that I foil with are sort of into their 70s and they're still flying around. So once again, so onto the heels, board will go upwind, toes, heels, toes, lean forward, board touches the water, lean back, foil comes up. Avoid the seaweed. It's starting to get quite shallow here, so think about holding my height. Hold it a little bit higher, and at some point I have got to bail out. The water will not be as deep as the length of my mast. And there you go, windfoiling. Of Southend, look at that, beautiful day.